This is gotta be some of the craziest things I have ever seen. This is just an incredible machine mod, and we're gonna take a look at advanced machinery from Wonder Studios to see what we can do and what we can automate and create ourselves. So here we are in the world, and I just spent like 10 minutes figuring out how the very basics work. As you can see right here, we have our solar panels, which provide energy to this block right here. That is the steel foundry. And right here, we had a chest full of coal and iron, which feeds into here, which will produce our final item, steel.
Flint and steel.
Which we will be using a lot of this to create these new items. So let's hop into this and explore some of the amazing things that this add-on has to offer. First up, there is a website and a wiki for this because I know for sure I wouldn't be able to do this all by myself. That has so much of the information you need to get this add-on working and to understand it. But while we're in the game, we get the Advanced Machines Guidebook, which if we place down, it'll pop up like this, and it'll tell us everything about the add-on. So this is probably the basis of everything that you need to know. Getting started, getting a steel foundry is definitely one of the first things you want to do. Connect up your solar panels or energy, interact, and sort it out into chests, and finally, try some new stuff. So that's how you make a solar panel, that's how you make a wind turbine. So I'm going to quickly show you how to connect this up to a foundry. So first up, we're going to place our steel foundry down, and this is where our energy is going to come in. So we're going to place it like this, so we'll have the energy come in this way. All we have to do is do a transfer cable right in between it, and if we pop in here, we will get a few different watts. But the production of the windmills is affected by height, so if you do it higher up, it'll probably do a little better. Now, this is where the tricky part comes in, and honestly, I'm still probably figuring it out. So, once we're over here, we have power. This is our input. So, let's put our item pipe right here, and this is our output. We'll put our pipe right there, and we'll put a chest right here, and a chest right here. So, since this is our output, we want our item emptier. We want it to empty into this chest, and we want items to be pulled. Boom, just like that. Now, all you have to do is dump your coal and your iron in there. You'll see it disappear. Boop, it's gone. And we'll see it slowly go through the pipes. And we can see things come out. We got one steel ingot, and this is producing enough power to create these steel ingots. So that is pretty simple, and this is also eating my arm. So we're going to take a look at a few other machines that we can make. A heat generator creates power from lava. Ooh, that one's pretty cool. We can create the battery Mark 1, which we will need later, which is also very important. So we're going to collect a little bit of the energy from here so we can charge up our battery for later. Now that should slowly start charging as well. But this time, let's put down some solar panels to help produce more energy. I think that should help. Oh, we're 149 out of 500. And we can obviously get another battery, which will hold more charge. And these are going to be your bread and butter. These power cables will transfer energy between all the different things. Now, this is where the fun part begins. Because honestly, I'm going to be honest, I'm probably not the most technically minded Minecraft player. But I definitely am interested to see what you guys have to make. Right here, we have the item pipe. And this will move items between different things. For example, this is what we made earlier. And obviously, having a pipe emptier is also very important. And the pipe filler as well. So this is how you use it. Connect chests using emptiers and fillers. Pipes will not transport until they have an end. These are fluid pipes. This carries fluids between machines and fluid tanks. So we will follow this example and try this lava one. So this is how the machine works, but obviously we're not seeing a whole lot going on. And that is because if you come in here, produces lava, no resources found in range. So if we put some lava down, we see that the lava comes up, boop, we set it down, and we now have our heat generator. This is draining out all of the lava to collect these resources to put in here. Now, instead of having the power go in this way, we can have the power go out to something else. But the next thing we can use is a fluid tank, which will store all of our fluids. There we go. We got our fluid right in there. And now that we have our lava filling up right over here, if we come like this, we can stick it in, and it will draw from this section right here. And as we can see, we have our lava bucket right here. So this one can be very useful in the nether. Now, as we talked about earlier, we can make a steel foundry to create more of the steel. This is what we got going on right here. This is our little steel foundry. And if we come to the output, we can see we got 64 steel ingots. However, we can also make a bronze foundry as well. So instead of using iron and coal, we use the gold and copper. So if we come over here, we're going to replace this one. Hopefully it doesn't mess everything up. There we go. This is our bronze foundry. And we get all the items we need to input right here. We'll drop in our copper and our gold, like that. And once we close it, we should see this get pulled out. Actually, I need to reset this one, edit the filter, and reset the item filter. That one should finally start pulling it through. Now this will use this energy, and it should convert it into a brand new item that should come out any second. There we go. Comes in. Boom. We got bronze. Next up we have is the machine electric furnace. And this will smelt a bunch of different things. You can make a really cool smelting system with this. And this is the same thing, but I assume it goes a little bit faster and is a little more efficient. And if that's not enough for you, a Mark III furnace goes even faster and is even better. Then we also have the Mark IV. Next up is one that's also pretty simple. This is the water pump, which we can be used to get fluid pipes and to store the liquid for energy for later. And the same thing is for the lava, which we have right over here. We can convert the lava into future energy. Now, if we turn the page, we'll see that we have a new item. This is the oil pump. Now, some of you may be asking, there's no oil in Minecraft, and that's where a new little thing comes in. So if we turn the page, we'll see where to find oil. So if we find the spill lily, which we can see right here, it spawns above oily deposits of stone. And the same thing will happen on land as well. As we come out here, we will find the spill lily. And obviously if we go below it, I've already dug out, we can see that we've got some oil right here, some oily stone. So the way to get this to work is you place an oil pump on the basement floor. We will connect the power up with this one. We're going to bring it all the way up to the surface. Now we should start getting power from this, and why not? We'll do another one right next to it. It's definitely not floating. There are no issues here, I promise. Place it down. There we go. We got a second one going. That should help us in our oil production. So now that we have this powered, all we have to do is do a fluid transfer. There we go. Let's see if we can bring it up all the way over here. Let's put it into a fluid tank. So this should start filling up with oil. There we go, 30 out of 90 oil. Now, the next part is using the oil refinery. This will turn oil into fuel. So if we stick that right there, we've got our input, our oil's going in, just like that, and we have our output right here. But obviously we need power to run this machine, so we'll hook it up. And now that we have 1 watt, that's honestly not a whole lot, so maybe we'll get a few more of these windmills. Now, there we go. We got a little bit of a factory going on. That should put us a little bit higher. And we can see we have some of this right here. And now that we have our liquid fuel, all you have to do is place this down right here. Place another one just like that. And we'll be able to fill it up with all of our fuel. So here we have our big machine that will convert all of our oil into fuel to use for our other projects. You may be asking, what do you even use this fuel for? And that comes to our next big project. This is our quarry machine. And as you can see right here, we need fuel to make it work. So let's grab a fluid pipe and run it into this. There we go. We should be getting some in. So let's run our fuel like that. There we go. We're all filled in. And let's do 24 by 24. We'll see that this is all highlighted. And we got to input some water right here. There we go. We got our water connected up. Now all we need is some power. It does take a little bit, but it's definitely some pretty cool machinery. So now that we have our quarry set up, all we have to do is hit here, hit start. There we go. And of course, I didn't look at this very closely, but you gotta remove the inside layer of all of this for it to be working. Well, I think I finally completed this quarry. I did have to switch over to the surface because I think it might have an issue to do with water. I'm not 100% sure, but let's check it out. Let's see if it works. So we're going to activate this. We're going to do the 24 by 24, and we got to clear out the frame for this. So we'll clear this out real quick. There we go, and we'll see it start to build itself, and the quarry should get started. There we go. We slowly see it mining away. That is really cool. And the issue I was running into, it's got to be on the inside of the perimeter, but it will slowly keep mining away for us. And if we come over here, we'll see that this is actually not picking up the items. There we go. Once we connect the pipe up, we will slowly see all the materials get filtered into this chest. Whew! That was a little bit of a work, but we finally figured out how to do that. And I know for me, one of the issues is that this wasn't going, even though there was oil in range. So I just had to replace this, and it started working again. And once again, make sure you do the inside layer and not the outside layer if you want the quarry to work. And we'll slowly see this mine away one by one by one. And I don't know if the quarry just had issues with water or what, but it did not like being underwater. So just to let you know, you may not want to do it under there. Now, another cool machine we have is the plastic machine, which if we get oil and power, it'll produce plastic. So here we have the plastic machine. It's getting power right here, and oil went into it. And we can see we'll start getting plastic bars. And that brings us on to the next one. We can get the auto farmer. This is really cool. Hey, bud, you gotta calm down. And now that we have our little system for the auto farmer, all we have to do is grow plants next to here. And now that they're grown, it's going to auto harvest all of these. So I'm trying to grow them, and as you can tell, I have been growing all of them just like that. But we see that a few of them start disappearing. And once they start disappearing, we'll see that our chest over here has got wheat and our wheat seeds back. So this can be a great way to have an automatic farming system. But that is not the only automatic farm that we can have. If we come over here and turn the page, we have an automatic fisher as well. There we go. And we have our automatic fisher up as well. So we can see it's got all the power. And very slowly, it should start fishing for us. Oh, there we go. We just collected an item. We'll see it pass through. And it looks like we got leather boots. Nothing crazy. Let's say we put another one of these down. Let's see if we can get more items. The more things that we put in here. There we go. So we got another one right here. There we go. Now we have 3 different fishing things, and we can see all the items slowly come into here. And now you're seeing how we can get a ton of farms going and get lots and lots of materials. And one thing you could probably do with the quarry right here is just keep lowering it down one by one, and you'll be able to mine out a whole chunk as you keep using this and using this as you keep moving it down. So this next one makes circuit boards, which is really cool. All you need is gold ingots, plastic bars, and power, and you'll get out circuits. So we're going to use our initial machine at the beginning, as it'll be pretty similar. All we have to do is get our original circuit maker. We'll switch it out for this one right here. Then on this side, we're going to input all of our inputs, plastic and gold. Then we should see this start to go, and eventually, and with enough time, we will slowly see items come this way. Boom! We have 4 circuit boards now. And now, what can we make with these circuit boards? Well, if we turn the page, now we'll see we can make mob spawners with these circuit boards. These are very simple to use. All you do is craft them and just put a little bit of power in, just like that. So let's make this together. We're going to place this down like that. We're going to add a power cable, and it should just be adding a mob spawner. Oh, there we go. And we should be getting enough power. Eventually, we should have a mob spawn. Let's see. Well, while we're waiting for that, let's put down another power. Put this down. And this is the next one. This is the animal spawner. Boop. Put it down just like that. Oh, currently spawning random. So this one is also currently spawning random. So now we have the setup, and unfortunately, it's not spawning anything. But that is because you go in here. It requires 5 wonder watts to work. So that means we need a lot more power. So let's hook up a few more of these to get more power. Boom! There we go. That should be 5 right there. And if we come in, we're 4 out of 5. We'll do an extra one, because why not? There we go. Should have 5 watts. Open it up, 5 out of 5. And eventually, we should see a mob spawn. But while we're waiting for a mob to spawn, let's hook up this monster spawner one. There we go, and we got a baby zombie spawn just from that. And this one, we should soon see a mob spawn as well. So, to get this up, you need 2,000 watts. And there we go, we just saw a cow spawn in the background. And this should be back at 5. So once this reaches 2,000, it'll be ready to go. Same with this one right here. So, why not make this look a little bit bigger? So, we'll be able to get them a little bit faster. So, any minute, we should see this guy pop out. There we go, there's a skeleton. And this one should pop out a new mob as well. And next up we have is the charging station. Now this is a little bit important. Charges batteries in your inventory. So let's use a little bit of our power from over here. We're just going to direct that over into our charging station. So let's place it down. So now that we have power, let's place our charging station down. There we go. Now this will slowly begin to charge up, and once this gets to the top, you can collect your charged batteries. Once we're in here, we can insert our batteries, insert it 128 batteries, and collect the charged batteries. So just like that, we now have some Mark II charged batteries. And now next up is the conveyor belts. Honestly, these are very, very simple, but for some reason, I just could not figure out how they worked. But there is a website linked at the top link in the description that tells you how to use all these machines. Once again, I get very confused, and that has great tutorials on how to do all these cool things. Let's say I come over here to the end, we have our items, and we toss them right on here. I go right in and right into the chest. Very simple. But another cool thing we can do is if we get a pig, stick it on there, he'll also go down the conveyor belts. So this can also be fun to move mobs around the world as well. Now, next up is one that we do need the battery for, which so happen we have right here, and that is the drills. So you can make all different kinds of drills, as you can see here, steel, diamond, and that's a spoiler. So let's grab a drill and check it out. Having the drill is very important, as you'll need a battery in your inventory. So let's come over here, right click with that, and it will slowly mine away these blocks just like that. Oh yeah, it goes a pretty far in front of you, but it can be pretty cool. Just like that, it's slowly mining all this area, and we don't have to do a single thing. But don't forget your batteries, or this won't work. Dang, I did a lot of damage, holy cow.
No, that's a lot of damage.
Now, next up is also a very cool thing, and that is the Ultra Suit. You get night vision, water breathing, speed, haste, strength, and flight. So that sounds pretty amazing. Let's pop it on. And here we are. It's about to get nighttime, so it's about to get very dark. Let's put on the leggings. Oh, we got speed. The helmet. The chest plate. And the boots. Oh, we can... Oh, wait, hold on. And now that we're in survival, let's see. We can just fly. We can fly, we can see everything, even though the sun's down, it is nighttime. That is crazy. You pretty much get all of the bonus buffs, and it's just incredible. Especially with actions and stuff, which I am playing with right now. That is so cool. You can literally just fly in survival. Look at that. And you slowly go down. Crouching, I don't know if crouching does a whole lot, but this is some sick armor. There we go. Drill all the way down. This is just super sick armor. And last but not least, we have one last thing, and that is a jetpack. So now that we have our jetpack on, we'll do Mark 1 first. We will be able to fly. It's literally just creative mode. You can just fly around and do whatever you want. Now let's put on the jetpack ×2, and oh, that one's a lot faster. Hold to fly, requires a charged battery in your inventory. So we can fly around, and it's pretty sick. And last but not least, we have decorational lamps, which we'll be able to see right here. Let's just hook it up over to our thing right here. This will be a lot easier to see at the nighttime. So if we place it down, boop, we got yellow, purple, red, and a few other colors as well. And next up is decorative fountains. So for these require water. So let's place this down right here. And you just got to run water into the bottom right here. So we'll put that in like that. Hook it up to our water source. Woo! And we get a cool looking fountain. Now this also works for a large water fountain, which we can see right here. It also works for the jet fountain. Oh, that is so cool. And the small fountain like that. Just a tiny one. Just a tiny one. I really like that. And adding more than one, you can make a cool water show. Very simple, but very interesting as well. And when we turn the page, we got one last thing, a decoration alarm. So if we hook it up like that, let's just stick it right here. There we go. We'll see it go off just like that. And as you can see right here, we also have some decoration for factories. And you can craft those by using these right here. Same with all of these. You can make some pillars and things like that. And on this side as well. And for example, we can see a few of them right here in action. Very simply like that. You can walk across these catwalks. And last but not least, we have these ones as well. So we can place our warning signs down, knowing that there's going to be construction. And that's it. Whew. That was so many different amazing things that you can check out in this add-on. You can get this advanced machinery add-on on the marketplace right now from Wonder Studios, and please check out the website. It will tell you literally everything that you need to do to get all of this to be working, because I know I needed it as well. So if you want to see any other add-ons or resource packs, feel free to check out some videos right here. Thanks for watching. Bye!